Welcome to another weekend here on the platform. My name is Sam Omashaye. On the program this weekend, after about 3 months in the eye of the storm, Justice Walter Onnoghen finally toed the line of morality by tendering his resignation. Also, the race is on. Not one, but 3 men under one political party have indicated their interest to clinch the Senate presidency in the 9th Assembly. Members of the lower chamber are also jostling for various leadership positions, but the speakership race of a Southwest representative seems to be gaining momentum, and mounting security worries for Nigeria as the country battles insecurity on multiple fronts. Our public affairs analyst Lekon Shote with me here, and lawyer Bosun Oshifowora joining me to analyze these issues. Well, first, I think we have to look at the issue of Onnoghen. As a lawyer, it turned out that in the whole NJC thing, it is not issue of law that seems to be the issue now. It's morality. Is that significant?
Law and morality actually go together.
Yeah, but the point is that some people always say, no, it's about law, that once you get to the law, you forget morality.
No, law and morality are never mutually exclusive.
I'm happy to hear that.
Because in fact...
Because I've heard from very, very important lawyers that take away morality, that morality is subjective and all of that, and that we just want the law. What does the law say, especially those who are called strict constructionists?
When people want to be mischievous, that's when they throw away morality, separate morality from law. Morality underscores law in any society. And if you want sanity to prevail, you cannot diffuse, you cannot take away morality from law. Now, back to Onnoghen. I think it was too little, too late.
Exactly. Why? Why so?
He should have told this part from the beginning.
Exactly.
But he left it to a point where it was almost not necessary because he had seen the handwriting was on the wall. In fact, the agency already came up with a communique about how the thing was going to end up. And I think perhaps he was looking for a soft landing or a softer landing, because I felt they had given him, you know, when the agency came up with something, they said that he should go, he should do this, then that they should still retain him on, you know, give him some stuffs like that. And I'm like, what? You're using one hand to take away something from him, and you're using the other hand to... But I think for the sake of that exalted position, he should have done this. If he did this, immediately this thing broke out. Yeah. I think everybody would have... Fine, perhaps it will still end up in the courts. It doesn't take away the criminality of what he has done. But at least people would have viewed him with a better eye that, fine, you are protecting this institution.
While confessing you're wrong.
Yes, and you're ready to sacrifice whatever it is so that the institution can be preserved. But he didn't do that, and he left it. And the CJN is an exalted position. But he left it, and it's no longer desirable. The eyes with which people look at that exalted office is no longer there.
Talking about exalted office, what made him bring down the, what I might call, the cathedral essence of that position? What made him really think that he could have gotten away with the first path he took, going to court and challenging, you know, what he saw as the forces of negation?
You see, and this answer will probably also answer the question you're going to raise concerning the struggle for leadership in the National Assembly. See, I found that in this country, it is about who you know, the position you hold. Why don't you observe that you enter a danfo, you see the beret of a soldier on the dashboard, or a koboko on the dashboard, or you see Mopol, gallant Mopol sticker on the windshield, it's telling you that, look, I have a position, I have something that I can use to fight you.
That's what I mean. I'm ready. I'm ready for you.
You know, so it's not that we are all going to obey the rules, or we are going to obey why would military officers be driving in the BRT lane? It will have to take a former governor, President Fashola, to tell them to arrest them and then ask them to move off. It tells you that Nigerians use position, their position, because they don't have a faith in the system itself. And I think that is what the former CJ demonstrated, that if I leave this position now, I may not be in a position to actually fight. He wanted to use that position to fight. And you can remember his argument was, it is NJC that actually should be dealing with this issue, not the CCT, which some people have argued is essentially an administrative issue. So even agency, even NJC itself is also an administrative agency.
Walter Onohe is first a Nigerian citizen before he's an officer of the law.
That's right.
And just the way a soldier has to come to declare his assets, so does a lawyer, so does an accountant, a judicial officer, a medical doctor. They all do that as citizens, coming into the fray of government to say, this is what I have as who I am.
That's right.
Because what you're going to declare does not belong to the state. It is yours.
It's yours.
So you want to say, this is how I am before I get there. So when I'm leaving, we want to know whether you got tainted or you never got tainted.
Yes, you know.
Yeah, so that is the problem. Now, the other issue too is that Onohe may have been naive, thinking that, well, it seems that I have certain political wheel horses behind me and a number of SAN colleagues behind me trying to fight for me. And somehow I think I'm able to, pull my way through and so on and so forth.
That's not naivety. That was deliberate.
But it's naivety if you come and look at it now. It's not helping him.
Well, it's not. That was what he thought could happen. But at the end of the day, you find that it didn't work well. Now, you could say Nigeria is bad.
It was a risk. He took a risk.
You could say the society is going down. But there's still a dint of... I mean, there's some people in some places that still believe that we can still hold this country together. We can still preserve whatever is left of what has been,
our dignity.
Of our dignity that has been so desecrated and decimated. So that's why you find some people standing up that whoever
there
you
are some
are,
20 sons who came out and said, no, this shouldn't continue.
A lot of senior lawyers, legal luminaries came out and said, no, that for this position alone, I mean, it's never happened.
That's right.
And coming from your angle of naivety, you know, there's never been a time where the judiciary has been torchlight like that, or torchlit, like they just put serious
and you get so many people.
They beam such lights.
The other day in the hotel, and I was in the lobby of a hotel, and there was one lawyer who was just talking with so much brashness about, this is just wrong. This is just wrong. I said, for goodness sake, look at the EFCC case. They are saying that this is what you have. This is what you have earned. How do you reconcile? I mean, once you have that,
that is enough for him
to say, okay,
just
please
walk away.
Yeah.
But because, nobody has ever been that searchlight on the judiciary. Yeah. Nobody looks at a judge. Nobody looks at what a judge is doing. No government has ever... I mean, the judiciary is just dead. Judicial officers are always left alone. But when this government took it upon itself that, okay, whoever you are, from the top to the bottom, the thing started even from the bottom up. Right. Yes. There's been cases of judges where they found monies in their accounts and all that. Yes. And at the end of the day, the whole thing landed on the CJN.
Is Chief Justice of the Federation, it's not somebody you see on the news. It's not somebody you see even in court because it's not even televised. He has a certain kind of sanctuary
and
around him. So the reticent, very dignified
That's right.
silence around him,
That's
which tends to even elevate and even mystify and brings
the office
a
and his
special
person too.
aura
Yes.
to that position.
Exactly.
Which we don't.
He messed
we
it
don't
up.
see.
He didn't handle it very well.
Now the other one is the battle for the big seats. Some people are saying, do you expect that there will be a surprise?
No surprise. In fact,
Because we still have the three people. Lawan, we have Goje, and we have Ndume.
the surprise will be for me if Lawan becomes president.
Oh, that means you're expecting a surprise because it looks like where the party says Lawan is the person.
This is not the first time the party is coming with their position.
Yeah, but this is the first time. The last time was the first time that a party in government will say this is our official position, and then they were torpedoed. At least in the other times, when the time of Obasanjo, even though you went away with it, they found a way to get the person out. I mean, in this case, we'll see how it happens, because what they are trying to do now is that they are trying to play the game that, you have Lawan as the Senate president, and you have, what's his name?
Femi?
Deputy.
Okay,
Deputy Deputy Senate President as Omo Agege. So they are trying to use that pair, but Goje is listening and is kind of looking for understand. He wants something, and he has to. This is a horse race and so on. And then the House of Rep, Gbajabiamila Amira is there, but we're not even hearing of any serious contender, against him.
I think 2 or 3 so-called contenders actually attended his declaration.
Yeah. But what concerns me about all of this is that when you want to bring somebody into a position like that, and I want Lekon to speak to this, put somebody in a position like this, you expect that they'll be saying, well, this is the levels of the person's achievements. These are the bills he has pursued. These are the causes he has fought for, and so on. What we have is he has been here for so many years. He's senior to everybody.
It's a ranking member.
A ranking member.
He really was.
Well, my attitude to all this is that I recall some 3 or 4 years ago on a program on this station, the former governor of Cross River State, Donald Duke, he says that political parties in Nigeria are not political parties in the sense of political parties. They are just platforms for people to actualize their personal ambition. Now, look at this. The Constitution says that you must belong to a political party. The political party must present you before you can contest for elective office. The same Constitution says that the members, which supposes that there is should be something like kind of party supremacy.
Yes.
Now, the same Constitution also says that members of the National Assembly should nominate or pick their principal officers, and that is the argument of some people that we are already here. Let's leave us alone. Now, I ask myself this question in my closet: if somebody does not listen to party supremacy, would he be presented next time by the party? Could the party say, well, okay, don't worry, you have done your worst. This time, it's our own, we will not present you.
Well, but you are kind of talking of a person like Ndume. Ndume was in the last time also trying to run for the same position.
That's right.
Then he went to cohabit with the other side.
That's right.
So it's coming again as a faithful. Why should he be trusted? Yeah? It's what Jesus said. These are ye who have been with me in my time of temptation. I bring unto you a kingdom
You know.
But this one has not been faithful. I mean, you cannot say so.
But sorry, if I may comment, not to depart from what you've said.
Yeah.
It's not just the Senate presidency. Even the process of getting all of them there.
Yeah.
You don't find people who have done things, who have sponsored bills.
Yes.
I mean, Femi is about the only exception.
Yes.
Is one thing that speaks for him is that he has sponsored. He's about the only person who has sponsored the most bills. But
exactly.
you read Obama, you read books by Clinton. Yes. You see all the things.
You see all the
people have done.
You see they stand for certain ideas, certain principles in the house. In the house. You think of when McCain was there. You think of all the things he has done in immigration, finance, campaign finance, and all of that.
Let me say something that I think we are probably missing here. APC is about 4 or 5 different tendencies that came together. And those tendencies, they did not become, it's like a kilt. When you weave, the various colors still show. And that is what you see.
But the quilt is better because the quilt, when you wear it, it becomes even beautiful.
Yeah, but the colors still show.
The colors show, but they are beautiful.
They are
woven together. The quilt is woven together so beautifully by delicate artists.
You know the bad part about this.
Like that.
Somebody like McCain.
That's right.
I mean, he was a war veteran.
Yeah.
He had bills that had to do with the military. There are people
here who are with the military, with
and other areas.
Yeah.
No, but I'm even saying, at least you have your own bias. Like, okay, I'm a lawyer. I have to do things that relates to MBA, that relates to law, that relates to court, and you know how law can go well, how things can be better for lawyers. But you have people who have been in different sectors. Perhaps some of them have been professional politicians and maybe they never had a base. But for those who even have a base, there's nothing they're bringing to show. I mean, everywhere, there are people who worked in the customs, the people, the policemen there. Nobody's talking about how to better the lot of the average policeman. I mean, you should have your own area of bias, but nobody's coming up with anything. Apart from money, apart from struggle for power, you can't say this senator has done this.
Let's look at the root of all of this. How did they even get to the House? How did they get to the Senate? What did they do? Really?
Did they buy votes?
Did
they influence?
What grounding did they have in their senatorial districts and other constituencies? Yes. What they didn't. Some of them just
found themselves,
and
that's right. And they are doing things.
Yes.
They brought money. And
they
people collected. They say honorable.
And the largely uninformed voters too.
That's right.
You'll be shocked that even those who vote them in,
they
don't know them. They vote them based on funny communal sentiments that don't add up, that don't make any difference in their own lives. And the same thing goes even to the councillors, the chairman. They just bring somebody, the party has brought this person. You don't know what he has done. You don't know what he stands for. You don't know where he's going. So at the end of the day, when people come and complain that the country is not good or the country is not going well, we brought these people in.
Yes.
And there's nothing they're going to bring to the table.
Now, security. Where are we going to start? Just a few days ago, we learned that the Boko Haram was trying to knock out Damaturu. The other day, we learned that all the VIPs cannot travel between Abuja and Kaduna by road. They have to take the train. They become common men. We have the problem going on in southern Kaduna, where it is ethnic/religious imbroglio that we're experiencing. We have Zamfara, which has become a sore thumb in which our president used very interesting language that he was the unhappiest person on earth because of that. What is going on? We just finished an election. These problems we are listing, we don't know whether there's this herdsmen problem, because it looks like the herdsmen thing has now morphed into something else.
The last time I was here, you know, before the elections, I told you that it's because of the elections that this thing's kind of like piped down.
No, but it's not coming up in the areas where they were familiar.
These things were happening.
Were familiar.
Like Plateau
or Benue,
or even Taraba.
Or Taraba or Adamawa. No.
Somewhere else.
It's now
Southern Zaria.
Southern Zaria. It's now
Zamfara.
Kaduna. It's not, Zamfara has always been there, but has not been in the narrative of harassment, mining and banditry and so on. Boko Haram is Damaturu again. You want to sack it? You know, the last time we heard about sacking the state capital was when Jonathan was in office.
You know,
Alex Bade
Alex Bade was there in charge.
Chief of Defense Staff.
And a few miles from Maiduguri. So what do we have going on now?
I think we need to look at the mechanics of security or law enforcement in this country. One, the men that we have, do we have enough men to start with? That's one. Then two, even the men that we have, many of them are doing security guards for politicians. Some of the females are carrying handbag for even the wife of the local government chairman and all that. So there's a lot of diversion. Now, then do they have equipment? Do they have, sometimes you look at the hold-up between Baga and Arekpo and all that, then you ask yourself, you look at the FRSA, road safety, you look at the dilapidated vehicles that they are driving. How would they even, you know, caution somebody in a faster, better car who is driving? How would they catch up with him when their own car is already dilapidated? So I'm talking about equipment, I'm talking about the men, and then the availability, even the men that we think is not even, are not even enough, and the training. You see them wearing bathroom slippers. You know, that has really reduced now. It was terrible some 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago. You will see police officers wearing bathroom slippers, wearing sandals to his uniform. And then you look at the uniform too, it's tattered, it's bad and all that. So I like to think that they are not as equipped as we think, as they ought to be equipped. We don't have enough men, and even the men that we, I think just 2 or 3 days ago, I read that the police discovered that a lot of their men came in with fake certificates. Just about 2 days ago or so.
I think it boils down to the fact that
the willingness
that we have not really taken the issue of security seriously. And the elections have perhaps tended to give the president the impression that, okay, I'm doing a good job, so I don't even need to do anything. It's not a good sign. It means that as a country, we are heading to greater chaos and greater bloodshed. What is happening in those parts of the country, and most of we actually voted for this government.
Did you see Kadaria's rant?
Yes. Kadaria saw her.
They came out and said that we believed that, okay, with the president's military background and everything, that as a father, he can protect us. But it's like the father of the house has lost control of the home. That's
but that's the same thing we've even seen in the battle for the National Assembly. So long as the president's personal interest is not concerned. That has been a pattern with Buhari all this while. If his personal interest is not at stake, Buhari will act as though he's a great man. I'm rising above the frame. You don't rise above the frame, politics like that. You make sure that things happen. All right, thank you very much for this very incisive meeting. Lekon Shote and
thank you, Sam.
And Dotun. Thank you very much. Bosun, sorry. Shifowora. Yes. Thank you for watching the program today. You can catch up with my published column on www.samomashaye.com. Also follow me on Twitter. My handle is @SamOmashaye. Until next time, be good.